McIntyre, and we are holding it down for you today on First Things First. J-Mac, there's a lot to get into. Let's do it, brother.
All right, Chris, glad to be here. Let's start with Anthony Davis. The Lakers' big man re-aggravated his Achilles injury last night in Denver. Oh, it was not good, Chris. Davis will undergo an MRI today in Minneapolis. The Lakers could have been a little more cautious with their superstar big man, Broussard. We have to start here. How concerned should Lakers fans be with Anthony Davis after he re-aggravated his Achilles injury last night?
Jason, as concerned as possible. I mean, first of all, anytime you hear that word Achilles, you get scared. We know how dangerous of an injury that is, and you know, it doesn't look that bad at this point. And even last night after the game, Anthony Davis said the doctors told him everything looked good, even as they want him to get the MRI today. So, you know, we'll have to see what comes of the MRI. But they should do, as LeBron James said last night, take as much time as is necessary for AD to get healthy, because it is championship or bust for this team, period. I know AD is young, and Dennis Schroeder and some of the other players are young, but guess who isn't young? LeBron James. And I know he looks like he's got 4 more years at an elite level left, but you never can be certain of that. You never know when Father Time will creep in. So every single season that LeBron is still playing great ball, it is championship or bust. So rest AD as long as it takes to get that Achilles back to where it needs to be. And I know, look, I've talked about it on this show. AD's numbers are down all across the board, scoring, rebounding, free throw shooting. He is not having the MVP type season I expected him to have coming off that championship year. But I'm telling you, they have very little, if any, chance of winning the NBA Finals without a healthy Anthony Davis. I will put the Clippers ahead of them out west. I would put Brooklyn ahead of them in the east, maybe even Philadelphia. And the way Utah is playing, I don't know that you could write them off. So the Lakers need to make sure they get AD healthy. This is huge.
Yeah, I also think, Chris, this is a wake-up call to LeBron James. As you said, 36 years old. He's playing heavy minutes, especially recently. Chris, this is what I think people are forgetting. We're talking about the shortest offseason in sports history. Not just NBA, not baseball, 71 days. A lot was written about before the season about potential injuries coming off the bubble and the short offseason. Chris, look at the Final Four teams from last year. Miami has been decimated by injuries. 3rd most games lost. Okay, look at Denver. They have been slow out of the gate, 15-11. Look at the Celtics, 500. They have had more players injured in COVID than any other team in the league. So we're finally seeing it hit the Lakers. You knew this was coming, Chris. They were eventually going to get hit, but luckily the front office built this team for, an offensive team with Schroeder, adding Horton Tucker, who's been a really nice player so far. Montrezl Harrell. I think the Lakers will be okay without Anthony Davis, but I want to focus on LeBron James. Chris, I don't know that LeBron should be playing any back-to-backs. His minutes should come down. You said it best, right? This isn't about the regular season. As long as the Lakers can get to the postseason healthy, they are the team to beat in the West.
Well, first of all, let me say this. I didn't see this coming. All right, I saw an MVP caliber season coming from Anthony Davis. Last year, he fought through injuries and kind of got rid of that reputation as a guy that didn't play through nicks and knacks here and there. I didn't see this this looks serious. I mean, we'll find out from the MRI, but remember, they didn't think it was a big deal. They only sat him out 2 games. He comes back, is sore even as he plays well against Memphis, and then he re-aggravates it last night. So I saw games being sat out here or there. I did not see any type of Achilles type injury. Hopefully it isn't serious. As far as LeBron, he's a different animal, Jason. You can't compare him to Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis has only played 2 seasons where he's played 70 or more games in his entire 8-year career. LeBron James is an Iron Man, has always been an Iron Man, has played every game this season. And here's the thing. Everybody's pointing to, oh, he played 3 straight games of 40 minutes or more. I get it. That may be a little bit much. But for the season, He's averaging 34 minutes a game. It's a career low, same exact number at this point as he played last year. So how low do you want him to go? I mean, 34 minutes a game is a workload that I think LeBron can handle. I hear you. You got to be cautious with a guy that age, but he's already dropped his minutes significantly. He's averaged 38 over his career, so I don't know how much lower you want him to go.
Yeah, I think 34 is still too high, Chris, for a 36-year-old. What are we doing here? This is a guy who is, like you said, an Ironman. He's in his 18th season. Why is he playing 34 minutes in the regular season? It just doesn't make sense. You have a deep bench. Utilize it. Anthony Davis goes down. We know they're going to regress a little bit. As long as they don't fall out of like the top 6, they should be fine. We don't even know what the situation is going to be with the postseason, Chris, when it comes to fans in the stands. We're talking about a LeBron James guy who's won 2 of the best Game 7s in the last, decade in the NBA, okay? He went to Oracle, won Game 7 with basically nobody by his side in TD Garden against the Celtics. I'm not really worried about LeBron in the postseason, but let's get there without an injury. Remember, his first year in LA, trying to carry that Lonzo Ball unit that, they weren't very good, and LeBron goes down with an injury. We don't need it again. And the league, Chris, they're desperate for LeBron to pump up the ratings. 7 of the 8 next Lakers games are nationally televised. I'm sorry if LeBron's got to sit 1 or 2 of those. We need him healthy for the playoffs.
Well, look, you mentioned the injury a couple years ago. It could happen. And he's 36. You could drop him to 32 minutes a night and he could get injured at his age. So you can't worry about that. Here's the other thing, Jason. They've got to get these guys acclimated to playing with LeBron. All right, he's a guy that doesn't play like most players in the league. So Montrezl Harrell, Dennis Schroeder, Marc Gasol, these guys have to get used to playing with him so that they can be at their best come playoff time. And I get it. I'm not saying bust him out to 38, 40 minutes a night, but I don't know how low you want to go. Here's the other thing, and I'm sure this is on LeBron's mind, and shame on anybody that says it shouldn't be, because I know championships are first for him, right? But he's also chasing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And I'm not mad at LeBron for that. He wants to be the greatest player that's ever played the game. He's looked at me in my eye and told me that. All right, so he can't, have the 6-0 record like Michael Jordan in the finals, but he can become the all-time leading scorer. And if he can win another finals or 2, his resume is impeccable in that regard. So I think LeBron is playing, obviously, for the championship, but he's also got some regular season stuff he wants to get. The points with Abdul-Jabbar. And, Jason, how about an MVP award? In his 18th season, we've never seen a player come close to playing at this level this late in his career. That also would be another feather in LeBron's cap.
So it only took 7 minutes for the first Jordan reference. I'm sure there'll be another one. Chris, I do want to add on Anthony Davis real quick. Some of the numbers bear out that the Lakers were doing their best to play him more at power forward with a big center, much more than they did last year in the regular season. We know in the playoffs, AD is going to be the 5, Chris, okay? That's going to be a lot of wear and tear on that Achilles, banging inside with the bigs like Rudy Gobert, okay? I do have some concerns about Anthony Davis. I mean, Chris, we got to see what the MRI calls up today, but I would not be surprised if he takes 2 weeks off. I don't want to see him All-Star weekend. Anthony Davis's health is paramount. And Chris, I know the All-Star game has been a point of contention. We'll get to your list in a minute. But Chris, I'm telling you right now, I don't want to see LeBron playing 25 minutes in the All-Star game. Okay. It's a great showcase. Get the young kids out there. LeBron and AD, these guys need rest. They mean more to the Lakers and the championship than anybody else in the league.
Well, yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, take either one of those guys out of their lineup and they're not winning the title. It's as simple as that. I get it. You don't want to play them, too much in the All-Star game. But I think the All-Star weekend this year is going to be more relaxing and less taxing on the players than ever. You've been to All-Star. It's parties, it's endorsement, marketing responsibilities, community service for the league. There won't be hardly any of that going on this year. They'll just fly in. They'll play the game. The game won't be an afterthought like it typically is on Sunday night after you've been doing all this stuff since Thursday. So I don't think the All-Star game is going to be as stressful on the players as it typically is. So If LeBron plays 25 minutes, I don't think it's going to kill him. Jason, I told you, he's an Iron Man. Book it.
He's an Iron Man until he isn't. All right, Chris, we got to talk about Tom Brady. He's already working on Lombardi number 8. Be back after this. For an offensive team with Schroeder, adding Horton Tucker, who's been a really nice player so far, Montrezl Harrell. I think the Lakers will be okay without Anthony Davis, but I want to focus on LeBron James. Chris, I don't know that LeBron should be playing any back-to-backs. His minutes should come down. You said it best, right? This isn't about the regular season. As long as the Lakers can get to the postseason healthy,